Hello, and welcome to the first ever episode of Tom Reads on 88.5 FM, the station between the stations. My name is not Reads, I'm Tom Mock, and I'll be your host for this series. I want to thank 88.5 for producing this series, or at least for leaving the equipment on my doorstep in a vinyl briefcase. Their instructions have been really helpful. I can't say I understand why they felt the need to scrawl them across misused newspapers. Misused, I'd rather not say how, but hey, I guess that's just the way it is with artist collectives, you know? Oh, and per the producer's responses to my early recordings, I realigned the equipment so that it would face the sunrise of the recent equinox, and somehow that seems to have helped a lot, actually. I really appreciate your notes on those guys, or gals, or whoever. All right. So, originally I was thinking I would start this series off with something light, and then somehow decided that I would begin with Walt Whitman's complete poems. My particular edition is the 2004 Penguin Classics, The Complete Poems, and it's ringing in, if I take out the index and notes... Oh my god, I didn't even realize there were notes. I should have been checking these. Especially for all the words I hit that I don't know and have to look up. But this is just over 700 pages of poetry. So, good luck to us in getting through it in reasonable time. But you know what? We should enjoy the journey together. It should be a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it so far, and I hope you do too. So, without further ado, we'll start with Whitman's own preface from Leaves of Grass. Come, said my soul, such verses for my body let us write, for we are one. That should I after death invisibly return, or long, long hence in other spheres, there to some group of mates the chance resuming, tallying earth soil, trees, winds, tumultuous waves. Ever with pleased smile I may keep on, ever and ever yet the verses owning, as first, I here and now, singing for soul and body, set to them my name, Walt Whitman. Inscriptions. Oneself I sing. Oneself I sing, a simple separate person, yet utter the word democratic, the word en masse. Of physiology from top to toe I sing, not physiognomy alone nor brain alone is worthy for the muse. I say the form complete is worthier far, the female equally with the male I sing. Of life immense in passion, pulse, and power, cheerful for freest action formed under the laws divine, the modern man I sing. As I pondered in silence. As I pondered in silence, returning upon my poems, considering, lingering long, a phantom arose before me with distrustful aspect, terrible in beauty, age, and power, the genius of poets of old lands, as to me directing like flames its eyes, with finger pointing to many immortal songs and menacing voice. What singest thou? It said. Knowest thou not there is but one theme for ever-enduring bards, and that is the theme of war, the fortune of battles, the making of perfect soldiers? Be it so, then I answered. I too, haughty shade, also sing war, and a longer and greater one than any, waged in my book with varying fortune, with flight, advance, and retreat, victory deferred and wavering, yet methinks certain, or as good as certain at the last, the field of the world, for life and death, for the body and for the eternal soul. Lo, I too am come, chanting the chant of battles, I above all promote brave soldiers. In cabined ships at sea. In cabined ships at sea, the boundless blue on every side expanding, with whistling winds and music of the waves, the large, imperious waves, or some lone bark buoyed on the dense marine, where joyous, full of faith, spreading white sails, she cleaves the ether mid the sparkle of the foam of day, or under many a star at night, by sailors young and old happily will I a reminiscence of the land be read, in full report at last. Here are our thoughts, voyagers' thoughts. Here not the land, firm land alone appears, may then by them be said. The sky overarches here. We feel the undulating deck beneath our feet. We feel the long pulsation, ebb and flow of endless motion. The tones of unseen mystery, the vague and vast suggestions of the briny world, the liquid flowing syllables, the perfume, the faint creaking of the cordage, the melancholy rhythm, the boundless vistas and the horizon far and dim are all here, and this is ocean's poem. Then falter not, O book, fulfill your destiny. You not a reminiscence of the land alone. You too, as a lone bark cleaving the ether, purposed I know not whither, yet ever full of faith. Consort to every ship that sails, sail you. Bear forth to them folded, my love, dear mariners, for you I folded here in every leaf. Spread on, my book, spread your white sails, my little bark, athwart the imperious waves. Chant on, sail on, bear o'er the boundless blue from me to every sea, this song for mariners and all their ships. To foreign lands. I heard that you asked for something to prove this puzzle, the New World, and to define America, her athletic democracy. Therefore I send you my poems, that you behold in them what you wanted. To a historian. You who celebrate bygones, who have explored the outward, the surfaces of the races, the life that has exhibited itself, who have treated of man as the creature of politics, aggregates, rulers and priests. I, habitant of the Alleghenies, treating of him as he is in himself, in his own rights, pressing the pulse of the life that has seldom exhibited itself, the great pride of man in himself, chanter of personality, outlining what is yet to be, I project the history of the future. To thee, old cause. To thee, old cause, thou peerless, passionate good cause, thou stern, remorseless, sweet idea, deathless throughout the ages, races, lands, after a strange, sad war, great war for thee. I think all war through time was really fought and never will be fought for thee. These chants for thee, the eternal march of thee. A war, O soldier, not for itself alone. Far, far more stood silently waiting behind, now to advance in this book. Thou orb of many orbs, thou seething principle, thou well-kept latent germ, thou center, round the idea of thee the war revolving, with all its angry and vehement play of causes, with vast results to come for thrice 1,000 years. These recitatives for thee. My book and the war are one, merged in its spirit, I and mine, as the contents hinge on thee. As a wheel on its axis turns, this book unwitting to itself, around the idea of thee. Eidólons. I met a seer, passing the hues and objects of the world, the fields of art and learning, pleasure, sense, to glean, Eidólons. Put in thy chants, said he, no more the puzzling hour nor day, nor segments parts put in. Put first before the rest as light for all the entrance song of all, that of Eidólons. Ever the dim beginning, ever the growth, the rounding of the circle, ever the summit and the merge at last, to surely start again. Eidólons, Eidólons. Ever the mutable, ever materials changing, crumbling, recohering, ever the ateliers, the factories divine, issuing Eidólons. Lo, I or you, or woman, man, or state, known or unknown, we seemingly solid wealth, strength, beauty build, but really build Eidólons. The ostent evanescent, the substance of an artist's mood, or savant's study long, or warrior's, martyr's, hero's toils, to fashion his eidolon. Of every human life, the units gathered, posted, not a thought, emotion, deed left out. The whole or large or small summoned, added up, in its eidolon. The old, old urge, based on the ancient pinnacles, low, newer, higher pinnacles. From science and the modern still impelled, the old, old urge, Eidólons. The presence now and here, America's busy, teeming, intricate whirl, of aggregate and segregate for only thence releasing today's Eidólons. These with the past, of vanished lands, of all the reigns of kings across the sea, old conquerors, old campaigns, old sailors' voyages, joining Eidólons. Densities, growth, facades, strata of mountains, soils, rocks, giant trees, far born, far dying, living long, to leave Eidólons everlasting. Exult, rapt, ecstatic, the visible but their womb of birth, of orbic tendencies to shape and shape and shape the mighty earth Eidolon. All space, all time, the stars, the terrible perturbations of the suns, swelling, collapsing, ending, serving their longer, shorter use, filled with Eidolons only. The noiseless myriads, the infinite oceans where the rivers empty, the separate countless free identities like eyesight, the true realities, Eidolons. Not this the world, nor these the universes, they the universes, purport and end, ever the permanent life of life, Eidolons, Eidolons. Beyond thy lectures, learned professor, beyond thy telescope or spectroscope, observer keen, beyond all mathematics, beyond the doctor's surgery, anatomy, beyond the chemist's with his chemistry, the entities of entities, Eidolons. Unfixed yet fixed, ever shall be, ever have been and are, sweeping the present to the infinite future, Eidolons, Eidolons, Eidolons. The prophet and the bard shall yet maintain themselves in higher stages, yet shall mediate to the modern, the democracy interpret yet to them God and Eidolons. And thee, my soul, joy, ceaseless exercises, exultations, thy yearning amply fed at last, prepared to meet thy mates, Eidolons. Thy body permanent, the body lurking there within thy body, the only purport of the form thou art, the real I myself, an image, an Eidolon. Thy very songs not in thy songs, no special strains to sing, none for itself, but from the whole resulting, rising at last and floating, around full-orbed Eidolon. For him I sing. For him I sing. I raise the present on the past, as some perennial tree out of its root, the present on the past. With time and space I him dilate and fuse the immortal laws, to make himself by them the law unto himself. When I read the book. When I read the book, the biography famous, and is this then, said I, what the author calls a man's life? And so will someone, when I am dead and gone, write my life? As if any man really knew aught of my life. Why, even I myself, I often think, know little or nothing of my real life. Only a few hints, a few diffuse, faint clues and indirections I seek for my own use to trace out here. Beginning my studies. Beginning my studies, the first step pleased me so much, the mere fact consciousness, these forms, the power of motion. The least insect or animal, the senses, eyesight, love, the first step, I say, awed me and pleased me so much, I have hardly gone and hardly wished to go any farther, but stop and loiter all the time to sing it in ecstatic songs. Beginners. How they are provided for upon the earth, appearing at intervals. How dear and dreadful they are to the earth. How they inure to themselves as much as to any. What a paradox appears their age. How people respond to them, yet know them not. How there is something relentless in their fate all times. How all times mischoose the objects of their adulation and reward. And how the same inexorable price must still be paid for the same great purchase. To the States. To the States, or any of them, or any city of the States, resist much, obey little. Once unquestioning obedience, once fully enslaved, no nation, state, city of this earth ever afterward resumes its liberty. On journeys through the States. On journeys through the States we start, I through the world, urged by these songs, sailing henceforth to every land, to every sea. We willing learners of all, teachers of all, and lovers of all. We have watched the seasons dispensing themselves and passing on, and have said, why should not a man or woman do as much as the seasons, and effuse as much? We dwell a while in every city and town. We pass through Canada, the Northeast, the vast valley of the Mississippi, and the Southern States. We confer on equal terms with each of the states. We make trial of ourselves and invite men and women to hear. We say to ourselves, remember, fear not, be candid, promulgate the body and the soul. Dwell a while and pass on, be copious, temperate, chaste, magnetic. And what you effuse may then return as the seasons return, and may be just as much as the seasons. To a certain Cantatrice. Here, take this gift. I was reserving it for some hero, speaker, or general, one who should serve the good old cause, the great idea, the progress and freedom of the race. Some brave confronter of despots, some daring rebel. But I see that what I was reserving belongs to you just as much as to any. Me Imperturbe. Me Imperturbe, standing at ease in nature, master of all or mistress of all, aplomb in the midst of irrational things. Imbued as they, passive, receptive, silent as they, finding my occupation, poverty, notoriety, foibles, crimes, less important than I thought. Me toward the Mexican Sea, or in the Manhattan or the Tennessee, or far north or inland, a riverman, or a man of the woods, or of any farm life of these states or of the coast, or of the lakes of Canada. Me wherever my life is lived, oh, to be self-balanced for contingencies, to confront night, storms, hunger, ridicule, accidents, rebuffs, as the trees and animals do. Savantism. Thither, as I look, I see each result in glory retracting itself and nestling close, always obligated. Thither hours, months, years, thither trades, compacts, establishments, even the most minute, thither everyday life, speech, utensils, politics, persons, estates. Thither we also, I with my leaves and songs, trustful, admirant, as a father to his father, going, takes his children along with him. The ship starting. Lo, the unbounded sea, on its breast a ship starting, spreading all sails, carrying even her moon sails. The pennant is flying aloft as she speeds so stately. Below emulous waves press forward, they surround the ship with shining, curving motions and foam. I hear America singing. I hear America singing. The varied chorales I hear, those of mechanics, each one singing his as it should be, blithe and strong. The carpenter singing his as he measures his plank or beam, the mason singing his as he makes ready for work or leaves off work, the boatman singing what belongs to him in his boat, the deckhand singing on the steamboat deck, the shoemaker singing as he sits on his bench, the hatter singing as he stands, the woodcutter's song, the ploughboy's on his way in the morning or at noon intermission or at sundown, the delicious singing of the mother or of the young wife at work, or of the girl sewing and washing, each singing what belongs to him or her and to none else. The day what belongs to the day, at night the party of young fellows, robust, friendly, singing with open mouths their strong melodious songs. What place is besieged? What place is besieged, and vainly tries to raise the siege? Lo, I send to that place a commander, swift, brave, immortal, and with him horse and foot, and parks of artillery, and artillerymen, the deadliest that ever fired gun. Still though the one I sing, still though the one I sing, one yet of contradictions made, I dedicate to nationality. I leave in him revolt. O latent right of insurrection, O quenchless, indispensable fire! Shut not your doors. Shut not your doors to me, pride libraries, for that which was lacking on all your well-filled shelves, yet needed most, I bring. Forth from the war emerging, a book I have made, the words of my book nothing, the drift of it everything, a book separate, not linked with the rest, nor felt by the intellect. But you, ye untold latencies, will thrill to every page. Poets to come. Poets to come. Orators, singers, musicians to come. Not today is to justify me and answer what I am for, but you, a new brood, native, athletic, continental, greater than before known, arouse, for you must justify me. I myself but write one or two indicative words for the future. I but advance a moment, only to wheel and hurry back in the darkness. I am a man who, sauntering along without fully stopping, turns a casual look upon you and then averts his face, leaving it to you to prove and define it, expecting the main things from you. To you. Stranger, if you passing meet me and desire to speak to me, why should you not speak to me? And why should I not speak to you? Thou reader. Thou reader, throbbest life and pride and love the same as I. Therefore, for thee, the following chants. Now, I don't know about you, but it's around here that he gets me. And I think it's a Shut Not Your Doors certainly warms my heart to him, but Poets to Come. I am a man who, sauntering along without fully stopping, turns a casual look upon you and then averts his face, leaving it to you to prove and define it, expecting the main things from you. Boy, Walt is singing his praises for all of us, and he is seeing the greatness in all of us. He's singing the song. He's saying, I hear it. I hear America singing. I hear the varied chorales. I hear those of mechanics and carpenters, masons and boatmen, dockhands, shoemakers, hatters, woodcutters, plowboys, and the delicate singing of mothers, or of young wife at work, or of the girl sewing and washing. He's writing it for all of us. As I think I feel touched to read him writing Poets to Come, because I'm a writer. I think anyone who loves art, who loves music, he covers it, doesn't he? Poets to come, orators, singers, musicians to come, any of you who are so inclined, to have a great old writer like Walt Whitman in this very poem tip his hat to you. That's just very sweet. And I feel like he's saying, no, come on, don't worry. I get it. I was canonized. You've been made to read me in class. You've been assigned homework about me, but I'm not interested in any of that. I'm just writing this for you. This is just us winking at each other. Don't worry about it. This is about things that are beautiful and things that we feel and our yearning and the wonder for the world, the things that we're awed at, about freedom of people and freedom of the heart and soul. That's what it's about. So don't worry about the rest. Just come on and walk with me for a little while and feel it, and then make sense of it later. For you must justify me, he says. You'll do it. I think it's great. One more time to you. Stranger, if you passing meet me and desire to speak to me, why should you not speak to me? And why should I not speak to you? There's this wonderful sense of coming together here at the end of this section, of that reaching hand, ready to clasp your own. Thou reader, throbbest life and pride, and love the same as I. Therefore for thee, the following chants. All right, that's enough of that. Thanks so much for stopping by to the first ever episode of Tom Reads. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you come back to join us next time. I like to end all the shows here with a little music to send you on your way. If you'd like to submit a song to Tom Reads, just send an email to tommockreads@gmail.com, TOMMOCKREADS@gmail.com. Playing us out, we have The Little Things by Bonus Points. See you around.
And then you'll be able to get a good fee for whatever it is. So don't worry too much. Somebody's interested in everything. And anything you can be interested in, you'll find others will. But it's absolutely stupid to spend your time doing things you don't like. After all, if you do really like what you're doing, it doesn't matter what it is. You can eventually you could eventually become a master of it. It's the only way to become a master of something, to be really with it.